Public hearing is for the local law number 2, 2018 tax cap override. Anybody here? Question why we're overriding the tax cap? Or anything like that? What do we do in this public hearing? So here, where's Joey Graham? Thought he said he could be here. Vinny?
Yeah, I see that.
Might as well shut that camera off unless somebody shows up.
Who has to vote on this? Just you guys? Vote to say yes or no?
Okay, hold on. Say that again.
Close the public hearing on this local law number 2, 2018 tax cap. Wait till 5:15 for a budget hearing, just so. Yep. We'll start it early in case someone shows up. It's in the paper. Okay. Public hearing, we'll just, Line Mountain Water is, district, number 1. Last year's rate was $280 that is. This year it's $290, $10 increase, significant changes. The fund balance, was decreased by $2,225.50. We only used, $1,922.50 of fund balance. But the overall budget went up $1,500. And the change was from the reserve, we increased it by $1,500. Okay, moving right along. Dannemora water, number 2. You guys got your budgets? Let's pull them out. I got a thing I wanted to actually change in this budget before we approve it tonight. After Line Mountain Lights, Line Mountain Water, Line Mountain Sewer, and then there's Dannemora Water, Steve. Anybody, can you find it? Seven units on the top.
Use your yellow copies, those are the
Yeah, we got it.
gem stuff.
The yellow is our preliminary now.
I do have one question though. Didn't we transfer some money because Josh Aware, because of the big water leak up in Line Mountain for last year?
Yeah, but that was for, yeah.
Was that Line Mountain Water or would we?
No, it wasn't Line Mountain Water, it was, we took money out of fund balance.
We took money out of fund balance, okay. Does that have to be repaid or?
No, that's, the fund balance is basically like a savings.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be repaid
No.
for the district?
No, it's their money there already.
It was all within the same checkbook.
Oh, okay. I have no clue, so.
No, it's just trying to tell you how, the way it works. Okay, because, well,
Okay, so Dannemora.
like last year, our budget for Dannemora Water was 84. There's more money actually in the account. It's almost, it's like our fund balance is a reserve in case, you have a problem or something. Sometimes during the year you don't spend all the money, so it's added in.
No,
Okay.
I didn't know if we had to repay that.
So the changes I want to give, we haven't given the personal services an increase of $500. I want to push that up to 300 or 3,000. So the bottom line would go to 8,002. We'd have to, unmetered water sales would go to 7910. And actually the rate would stay the same at 140 instead of decreasing it.
Brock,
Brown,
water
whoever,
operator.
whoever's gonna be the operator. Right now it's Brock.
3,000 a year.
He's been at 2,500 for 6 years that I've been here. I don't know if he's ever gotten an increase at all. We've increased everybody else.
Leslie?
Leslie? Yeah, more than once. Or,
I don't know.
So,
Only once.
300,
Well, now I'm just curious, I don't know.
What's the water rate gonna be?
140.
back to 140.
Okay.
So 140 times 57. Right?
Yeah, it's 138, so I rounded it down to 140.
Watch that quarter to.
Oh, yeah, I see.
79.80.
My line is it first time.
Yeah,
And 92 is 85. $80.72.
Said 79.10.
go to 79.10, the water sales, you got the $92 in interest and penalty water rates.
About 130 times 57 is 79.80.
Yeah, it's a little bit more, Joe, than 79.10.
Okay, hold on.
Because
Yeah, we're doing it times. It's 74.10. 130 times 57. But you said 140 though, right?
Yeah, where are you getting 130?
Oh, I'm looking at this other thing. Is
if you divide 79.10 by 57, you should get around 138.
is 7,980. Well, yeah, well, that. But you're gonna leave it at 140?
Yeah, so he goes, we're rounding it out, you like round numbers, remember?
Great.
Absolutely. All right.
So we're gonna put $70 more in there than,
Into the fund balance, basically.
yeah,
Okay, gotcha. 79.10, okay.
yeah, so
Gotcha.
everybody good with that? Joey, you wanna catch up? We're,
Yeah, just give us a second.
Yeah.
I need to copy the yellow. Show you where we are. Dannemora water number 2.
Okay, so we're gonna
Okay,
stay
so
with
the
the water.
Yeah.
we're making some changes there, Joe.
Okay, we went from 75 to $8,002. What you got though? 8,000
Two, yeah,
$1,002.
for expenses and, total income.
total income. We changed the rate from 130 to 140. The reason being personal services for Rock 2,500 to 3,000.
3,000.
Okay. Yeah.
What's classified under personal services?
Anything .1 is payroll.
Anything point what?
Point
Payroll?
one is payroll,
Payroll, okay.
personal services.
The 8330.10. That makes it, purification personal services.
Okay.
It's his first year raise, and as long as I can remember. I don't know if Debbie remembers when she was on the board, what he was getting
I think it's been 2,500
for a long time. Probably since
Okay.
the inception of the
for
district.
buses
Just going down.
Okay.
There's no more debt service in that, district, so about, in 2017, they were at 500 for rents. Now they're down to 140, so it's a pretty good deal for them. All right, so everybody's comfortable with that? All right, Chattagay, we're on these things now, Joey. Chattagay Lake Water District, for water level control, went from 26 cents per thousand to 27 cents per thousand. The overall budget increase was $465. The actual figure for the budget is, for the town of Dannemora to pay $8,295.60. We cover 26.76% of that budget. Town of Belmont covers 42.67, town of Ellenburg covers 30.57. The total of our share was, what I said, 8,000, the total budget was 31,000. Okay? Light out sewer. Was the next thing, 505, this year we've got a $20 increase. The O and M is going to 225 from 215. The debt service is going up $10 to 300. We're decreasing the amount of fund balance, which is a good thing. Don't use up that fund balance, especially in the sewer districts. Only going to use $910. That's a decrease of $1,182. And with the hiring of Tim Graves, we had to increase personal services by $2,000. And roughly, that's what we increased the budget by, $2,000. Okay, next, Dannemora Sewer number 2. The rates, everything's staying the same. Budget went down $3,000 approximately, 2,000 something. But rates are gonna stay the same. We're gonna use less fund balance. We were able to decrease that by a significant amount, $2,248, so we're taking $4,512 out of the fund balance. We're getting $400 last year for rates. O and M is $282.50, and debt was $117.50.
Okay.
So,
No change.
no change there, but actually a sizable decrease in fund balance. Due to the fact building equipment reserve repair, we decreased that by $2,500. Okay, Line Mountain Lights, we went up 22 cents per thousand from $1.65 in 2018 to $1.87. That's a $2,500 budget increase for possible LED upgrades. And actually, if we don't, well, then we got a little bit of fund balance there too, or whatever, something happens. Okay, everybody ready to move on? Fire district. Actually got a different figure from their preliminary, their overall budget the town has to pay. Our tax rate was $3.61. This is the Line Mountain Fire District. Tax rate went down $3.55, a 6 cents decrease. Their budget actually increased by $1,462. What we've got to collect for them is $305,874. 24-hour EMT coverage continues. Dannemora Fire Protection. This is overall budget increase 28. It's 38 actually. Guys are there. I was probably wrong telling you.
I'm sure. 38, 736,
Yeah,
20.
Dannemora Fire Protection. We went from $1.36 per thousand to $2.16 per thousand. 80-cent increase. It's a roller coaster ride with Dannemora Fire Protection.
What's the total for that? Budget increase?
$38,736.20. Significant reason why we're overriding the tax cap.
Because of Dannemora Fire District.
Well, that
That and our,
and the Part B.
Part B of the general fund.
Joe was figuring out prior to you getting here, between that and Part B, which is a $28,000 budget item for us now, and we increased Line Mountain Lights by $2,500, we come up with like $69,000.
$69,000.
Yeah, and we figured on, if we only would have went up to 2.61%, it was 18 something that we could have used. So that takes care of the rest of it, why we're $85,000 over.
Okay, so why did the large increase for Dannemora Fire?
Because that's that typical response from them. It's a covering, it's like a bill. It's a bill from, what was their fiscal year goes,
Yeah, it's that fiscal year stuff.
they go from March, they go from April to end of March.
Yeah, it's like hardly 20.
And so they're in the fiscal year right now of 2018 to 19. And I think we're paying, what this bill is for 17 through 18.
It is because it was out of whack.
We're on camera there.
Outstanding.
Oh, sorry.
It is fudged
Get
up,
this out.
right?
Yeah, it is, because it is what it is. So,
It's all right.
That's just,
Well, that's, don't ask for an
This
explanation.
question's been asked
No, you can't seem,
Overused, right?
thousands of times.
you can't seem to get an answer. Well, the village has, the way they do their budget is everything, they have general fund, and everything is, so they're line items for everything. But then they don't break down the line items, which they probably should do when it comes to the fire department.
Well, the law says that they're supposed to present us the budget in the same format as what our budget is. That's what the law says, that special districts are supposed to provide.
You know, like Lime Mountain.
My mouth's beautiful.
You know, you get an explanation of what they're spending their money on.
so why can't we make them do that?
We can.
So we need to have.
We got a contract that we're supposed to sign, and actually there's some problems with that contract, with the fire department signs it, the town signs it, the village signs it. Fire department is refusing to sign it right now, and me and Matt have talked already in regards to changing things in that contract. And that should be a thing we can put right in the language.
Okay.
Provide us a breakdown.
Yeah.
It's not in the contract right now.
And we can quote it directly out of the manual.
Well, I think we should, and I say, you know what, and it'd be non-payment until we get the breakdown.
Right.
That's simple.
And actually, here's the other kicker, Joey. This, $98,000, that, isn't it,
Yeah, it's right here, 98, 980, 87.
no, but that ain't the money we pay them next year, isn't it? We pay them the money we put, I don't know. It's-
Yeah, we pay them that, because we gave them the 60,000 last year, to pay
Right.
for 15, 16 budget.
Somebody in the wisdom of the village decided they were gonna get a half and start collecting money from the town ahead of
Well,
time.
and I have an issue with the fact that what doesn't get spent on fire protection just gets filtered through the rest of the village.
General use.
When I'm paying for fire protection, I shouldn't be paying for gas and lights and,
Right.
the rest of the things, youth services and everything else.
I
It
agree.
should be an amount that I pay for fire.
You need to get it fixed.
Okay. Ledger's Corners, next page. Tax rate, $1,710 per unit.
2 units, right?
Well, no, we ain't charging anybody 2 units.
Oh, it's only 2 units.
Right?
Oh, there's 18.
18 units.
20.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm like, you're charging two though.
Yeah, only 2 people got it up to 17, 10.
DOT will be paying,
DOT will pay
they will pay
Right.
18 units.
18
Right.
units, right.
Well, they'll
5
be
to
charged.
17, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will be charged for 18
But
units.
this is a budget also for the 2-year period. It covers 2018 expenses
That's
and
correct.
2019.
That's correct.
All right. In regards to Ledger's Corners, today, just to let everybody know, I don't even, are they still there when you came up over the mountain?
Yes, they were, all 3 vehicles were there.
Yeah, they're still training Tim Graves.
Since 8:30 this morning.
Since 8:30 this morning. They started out in the pumping station on Mountain View Road, and now they've been in that recoordination station at least since 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that.
It was 6 when I came by, so.
Well, the health department was there. They had EFI, an outfit out of Illinois there. And there was an outfit out of Albany area. Morris Coolidge was there. State guy, Matt something, that runs the water down in the correctional facility. And Tim Graves. I showed up just to see who was showing up. And they're working out bugs. They're finding out issues, and that's part of why they've been there so long today. Taking care of things that actually I've been reporting to them to get done, and finally we're gonna get the bugs worked out. Because they had the two companies that came, actually, one being in Illinois and the other in Troy, Albany area, they're in the same building now. So those things are being worked out. Okay, highway fund. Tax rate, last year was 344, this year it's 336. It's a decrease of 8 cents. significant changes, 6,600, what is that?
Oh, that's not right.
That's six.
I think that's $6,896 decrease in fund balance being used.
Oh,
No, it's a 66,000, ain't it?
yeah, I think my comma's just in the wrong place.
Right, it's a 66,000.
Let me see, hold on.
Yeah, it is, 66, I remember. Yeah, we decreased the fund balance by
6696?
6696, decrease in fund balance.
What's that leave?
No, well,
Six,
The fund balance is just, that's the savings,
that's
Joe.
a
Joe.
decrease in what we're gonna take as,
What we're taking out of that savings, reserve fund type
Oh,
of thing.
okay.
Yeah,
we're taking less out.
it's a good thing to take out, use less of that.
Rest of the fund balance, right?
very good fix.
The contingency for that line item went up $6,000. Personal services, we increased again by $10,000, the summer and winter split. We put 5,000 each on those lines. We decreased the equipment reserve replacement by $21,995, and that figure in there, 63,005, on that line item is the figure actually that the highway department owes the general fund for the truck payment. Okay, we $5,000 increase in general repairs contractual. Capital outlay, we decreased by $50,000. Chips went up $8,929. Diesel fuel, we decreased in last year, we're bumping it up next year. Actually, the amount of taxes we're gonna raise, property tax remains the same for $437,500. That's what that property tax remains the same means there. Any questions about highway? I actually looked at trying to maybe, because of her overriding the tax cap anyways, to put some more money in there, but any kind of, even 25,000 kicks the tax rate up 20 cents for some reason. Okay, general fund. Last year's rate was 97. This year's rate, or 97 cents. This year's rate is 85 cents, $12 decrease. And that's because of Part B, but so, which is next to be discussed. We are gonna use,
It's $185,000, not $185.
yeah. Let me use some myself. Yeah, we're using 185,000, but we're decreasing it by
38,000.
1,195.
Right.
Okay.
185,000?
It's 185,000, not
That's what we're using
185,000.
out of the fund balance, for general fund. A, okay. Horse sales, we increased at 50,000 to 300,000. $500 increase for council persons, $2,500 increase for town supervisor, $500 increase for judge, a $617 increase for tax collector, town clerk. Capital project, it's just money of $50,000, that remains the same. We increased the building and grounds personal services by $5,000 due to the Tim Graves hiring again. We increased the Shazy Lake Beach equipment by $8,000, that's what regards to
Well, yeah.
possible well. The serial bond interest on the dam went down $3,000, so we're still paying out $92,000 between the payment and the interest for the dam. Actual property tax here went down $14,160. But remember, this general fund here is paid, this is what's paid by the entire town. Now we go into Part B, this is paid by anything outside the village. Part B is going to be a tax rate of 22 per thousand. So if you add up 22 cents and 85 cents, it's $1.07, which anybody outside the village is going to be paid. So it's actually a 10-cent increase for them outside the village. The overall budget for Part B is $28,765. This is Part Part B was created because comptroller's comptroller's office, after the audit in 2017, told us that we had to move some budget items out of our general fund into a Part B. There's seven total budget items, those from the general fund. See that one, Leslie? G-U-N-D, gund, not fun.
Now, you proofread this, so you better be careful. I said, here, you should look this over.
Hey, I found out how you spell judge. She had J-U-S-G-E.
Can I spell check on?
No spell check on Excel.
I didn't catch
Oh, yeah?
everything.
Yeah, but it also says now make the Part B fund Part B.
And the biggest increase actually for one of them 7 items that's on this budget now is Butch Wing's raise of $356.34. We pushed him up to 10.5. Okay, that covers the budget. Anybody got any questions? Public hearing? Chris?
Yeah, why isn't Rich Wayne for the whole town? Why is he just for outside the village? Oh,
The
there's-
village has their own code enforcement officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the library was under that too?
Yeah, well, we convinced them actually to they had taken some of the beach and park stuff and wanted us to put them in there, but we made a phone call and we got that changed.
Okay.
Because the beach is open to the whole town,
Right.
Yeah.
and the parks are open to the whole town. But anything like youth programs, personal services, that's just covered outside the village, primarily, Shazy Lake and Lime Mountain area. And then their youth programs contractual is money they need to run, and then the Dannemora Village Youth contractual, it's money we're giving back to the village, basically. And the library is the same thing. But, so that's it. Any other questions? Anybody else got any questions? We're good on the budget? We'll close the budget hearing and take a break for regular meeting to order and say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Supervisor Chase?
Here.
Councilman Bartle? Councilman Gray? Councilman Claire? Councilman Barron?
Okay, we need a motion, welcome everybody to our October regular meeting for town of Dannemora. Remind everybody, we record these on the camera now, as well on hometown cable, via the computer, Facebook, etc.
Don't have the misslips that I had earlier, so.
Yeah. Said fudge.
Bunch happens.
Motion to approve minutes from the September 26, 2018 town board meeting and the October 10, 2018 budget meeting.
I will make the motion to have the minutes approved for September 26, 2018 town board and the October 10th, 2018 budget meeting.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, now we're gonna call Chris Hunt.
One. One, 3 1.
No, I don't have.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
do.
do.
We had that one too.
I have to dial one to call alone.
Oh, I did dial one.
Chris Hunt? Here. Bill Chase and the entire town board. Got Joey Barron, Steve DeBrey, Joe Leclerc, and Jim Barber.
Hello, Mr. Hunt.
Hi guys.
You can hear us all right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, some of the board members got some questions for you.
So, Mr. Hunt, this is Joey Barron. I took a walk with Art a month ago. Actually went down underneath the center, what do you wanna call it?
Slide gate.
Yeah, slide gate, center slide gate is basically leaking through a little bit. The left slide gate and the right slide gate are just completely dry. So just let you know that we have that going on. And then
Is that gate operated the most out of the three, or?
I would say it is.
Because
Art's not here tonight. I couldn't tell you if it is or not, but I can find that out.
it's typical that they do leak only because, when you exercise them up and down, they have to go back and reseal. And a lot of times, what seals them up is just little debris particles, could be a leak, could be they get sucked into the other side of it. So that's why those other gates are drier. I'm
Yep.
sure that if you exercise them, they're gonna leak initially, then it's still back up,
Yeah,
you know.
I kind of figured that just with all the debris that's down there, but overall,
And each,
hang on one second, okay, let me say my piece and you can have your turn. So overall, the gates, the left and right side gate look pretty good. I talked to Art about the overall entire mechanism that works to get up and down. He says it is working freely, it can be a little sticky. I know there was some work done years past where you did some engineering and you did some countersinking, correct, of bolts, right?
what part of it, you know?
Yeah, the face, the slide face.
Originally we took the old gates out, you know, years back in the late 90s, we had that whole, we took all the old gates out, put new ones in, but we had to put mounting plates on and grout them in. And mounting plate basically holds that whole frame onto the wall, so if you had to, remove them, we could take them back off, put them back on very easily, you know.
So I guess the only,
They all get drilled in.
okay. So the only question that I have, and I'll let the other board members speak for themselves, just for me, looking at what I saw, and then looking at your estimate that you sent us for dated October 8, 2018. And then we just got an email from you that says your list of objectives for repairs to the gate will be to clean and replace epoxy grout on the mounting plates of all sluice gates, to finish the forming and grouting retaining wall, and clean and adjust to the operator, the stems, the guides, and the slides. So my first question for you this evening, for me, just to get my knowledge up to speed, is item number 2, finish forming and grouting the retaining wall. How much left is there work to do in regards to finish forming and grouting the retaining wall?
We had one more pour to finish up. It was just, and I got some pictures I can send to you, but I thought they had them there. There's a piece scaled out of there, and it's just below the water line, about maybe 2 feet. You probably can see it from the surface, where it just dead ends. Not sure, just erosion or whatever it was over time, basically took that little part out, and that just needs to be cleaned up, dressed up, get rid of the loose stuff, form it back up, and just finish pouring it, so it matches that same slope as the existing, stuff above and below.
Okay,
It
now,
wasn't a huge amount of cubic foot capacity. It may have only been like, maybe six cubic feet at the most.
okay. Okay, 2 by 3. Okay, and then, is that part of the original, the finish forming and grouting, is that part of the original estimate you sent to us on October 8th? I'm trying to do a line item by line item to what.
Yeah, because I had put forming work in there, plywood, that's what all that was for.
Okay. Okay, and then,
Got to that point, The main objective really is get mounting place, the adjustment done on the gates, and try to get that time window in so we don't go over that time.
okay. And then the other question I had for you is that, so when you come to perform your maintenance work, it's more maintenance work than repair work, correct? I mean, I know you're gonna do the,
Maintenance is not as much, honestly. a year, one day, and just do the maintenance, get it done. So that's not gonna take us long. Usually, maintenance involves, rotating the stem on the operator above the surface, then going down below, and then just make sure all the nuts, bolts are, secure on the stem guide. The piece that holds the stem up and down, two guides in the wall,
Yeah,
they get checked out. And then the actual gate itself has these wedges. There's 3 on the left side, 3 on the right side, and there's 2 across the top and bottom. They have to get adjusted. That's what causes the leak, because they're only held in place by a set screw, and they go out and adjust them, so they just get tapped down, they get backed off, tapped down, and then get, readjusted back in position. So initially, when we go back to do it, and he goes back to operate the gate up and down again, it'll be a little tighter, you know what I mean?
okay. And then the other question I have for you is that the spare gate that's sitting inside the building, you're not gonna take that spare gate and put it in place of the center gate that's leaking, and then repair the gate, center gate that's leaking? Or are you just gonna work on the center gate that's leaking? You're gonna leave the spare alone?
Yeah, the spare, the only reason we would ever use that spare, which we've done before, because we had to take the other one out and replace it, is there's a slide that goes up and down. That part, the gate part goes up and down, it's actually called the slide, and the rest of it's called the frame. The frame itself has these, they're bronze seating surfaces. They're actually pounded in, and over time, what happens is those seating surfaces, because they're cast in place, and the casting wears away. So they'll peel, eventually they'll peel away and roll away. So when those seating surfaces start popping off the gate, that's when we take the frame off and we switch it around with the other one and repair that frame.
Okay.
We've done it twice so far. So that one up on the surface is just basically a spare one, so that if it does happen, you won't get any downtime for parts for that, because you have that spare right there. Put right in right away, you're not waiting, that's kind of why we did it. So you have to order those pieces, it takes a couple months, because a lot of times you don't stock that stuff, they have to go into production and build those pieces.
Okay.
Like to set on shelf.
Okay, and then based on your email dated October 9th, actually October 8th to Bill, and then the quote you gave us for $30,000, the 3 line items on the email versus the line item quote for the $30,000, that's a total charge to repair out, to do the work you want to do over there?
No, because basically, we had a discussion a while back that if we do work, he was going to have like a contract written up, and basically we had to kind of do, instead of doing it time and materials, I did it as like a lump sum type of thing where I haven't been there since, I don't know if it was, last time we were there, it was 2006, or when we were there last, but it's been some time now, so in any unforeseen circumstances that we get down there and find, I'm kind of on the hook, taking care of them. I can't go back and ask for more money, so if I do a lump sum, I always have to kind of think ahead a little bit what possibly could go wrong, so that would be the worst case scenario. I had basically figured 2 days per gate to fix them and do all the adjustments. It could go quicker than that. So I don't anticipate going up to that limit, but I can't go back and ask for more money. That's the way we were talking about it before. So I had to put everything in there, get my ducks in a row basically before I, can do the work.
No,
It's been 2 years, Chris, I think, not 2006. 2016, you meant.
That's what I meant, 2016.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, you threw everybody off there.
yeah, so I guess, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's been about 2 years, right?
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, so, and I would almost assume that the gates in that time frame, we didn't do any, by the time we fixed up, we never went back and did the adjustments on the gates, so it's been at least 3 years since the gates have seen any adjustments on them.
Okay, so I guess the only other question I have, and I'm just gonna relate it to myself as a basic consumer who gets work done on this truck. I mean, if I bring my truck to a garage and say, hey, give me an estimate for replacing my fuel tank, and they give me an estimate for $30,000, they said, well, why is it so high for $30,000? Well, just in case you run into other problems replacing your fuel tank, your straps, you might have a bad shock. I mean, I just wanna make sure that we're getting what we're getting from you is exactly what's needed to repair those gates. And we understand the gates issue is a sensitive issue, it's gotta be fixed right. I just wanna make sure that we don't have an inflated cost, and then next thing you know, we got other stuff going on that, we didn't hear or see about. And I, for me, I guess for me, the other thing I wanna point out to you is that, when you did this estimate, it wasn't eyes on work, was it? Eyes on our facility? You just basically went from knowledge from 2 years ago.
No, you were here last year, Chris, remember you made that, the flash drive that I sent you?
Well, that was last year?
Was that last year?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was later than that. Okay.
You were underwater there last year, and you were the flash drive with that information, and, when we were looking for an estimate, and we had our little tip about that.
Yeah, we never did give you I don't think we ever supplied you an estimate, did we?
You wanted to, well, you did, but
So,
for reasons, you know, you wanted us to pay for the estimate.
yeah, I typically, any reconnaissance that I do that, I don't, we never really go out of our way to do free estimates for anybody, it's just we've never done that, you know? We have to basically pay for it, I don't want to get into that discussion, but basically, the work did get done last year, that as far as to my knowledge.
No, we haven't, no, it's been, no work was done last year, it's been, 2 years, and maybe up to 3 years since the gate adjustment, like you said.
Yeah, estimate's been about, I'd say at least 3 years. I have to go high only because if I go low and I find out it's going to be more work, then it's hard for me to go back and ask for more. You know, we can get in there and we jump in the first day, we can look at it and see what we've got and just keep, giving you a report. I'm sure you're going to have someone there that they can monitor our work, one of the live video feed the whole time so you can come at any point and see what it is. But my initial thing would be to obviously go in, remove the trash racks, so we can gain access inside, the gate area, and then look at each one of them to see what condition they are.
Okay.
To me, the bulk of the work for us actually would be removing the epoxy that's still there, that has to come off in order to do stuff on it. That's the most amount of time of everything we're going to be doing.
So have you overestimated in the days that you need?
Yeah, I figured 2 days per gate to put the epoxy, to take it off and put it on. But you probably could get the epoxy all off sooner than that. Probably we could get it done, all 3 gates in a day, take all the epoxy off, and then put the new stuff on. It may take a couple days to put the new stuff on. I don't think it's going to go on as quick. This does come off, but that simply doesn't work that way. It goes on a lot slower. But that buys me time if I go back over to do the curb. If you just say that you don't want to do the curb, then that doesn't get done. But that's basically the last thing we would do. Our primary objective would be to go in and take the, repair the mounting plates and do the adjustments. That's our main objective, is to get that stuff done first.
Okay.
And if we have the extra days left over, we don't use them. We're only going to bill you for what we actually do. We're not going to. I put a lot of other stuff in there item-wise I can think of that we would need to do all the work. But like I said, we may not get.
You may not use it all. Okay,
Yeah.
as long as we have that understanding that you're gonna come in here and perform the task at hand, and then you may have overestimated that, hey, listen, we don't need to do some other work, and, from $30,000, gonna go down to, to $20,000, and this is the reason why, I'm okay with that, if we have that type of agreement. And we have our attorney here too, so I just wanna make sure we get his input in that too as well, so.
Yeah, what I probably kind of did is kind of standard operating procedure. A lot of times we'll go into these places and we'll do a T&M. And for years we did T&M with the guys that seemed to work fine. We had to pick up that last time. But most of the places we work at, we do T&M. And we'll even get, POs issued to us from these big hydro companies that we do work for. And we have the understanding that if there's unforeseen, circumstances, the work stops until like written approval or some type of approval is made to continue on before we go any further, And that could be the case here where we get in there and we look and see that that gate you say is leaking. I don't think that it's the frame itself, but if it happens to be the frame, then it's a different operation to take that frame off and put a new frame, that square frame, it's just a little different setup, we have to take that plug we have up there.
Yeah, ladder plug, yeah. Okay,
And, yeah, it's just,
okay.
What were you talking about here? The one that-
the extra with
No, that was Jim's, this is Jim's,
Yeah, Jim.
Jim's,
Okay, and then I guess the other question I have is that, in your estimate, your line item estimate, you have on item number 1, underwater specialties will bill additional fuels, materials, and equipment required for a specific project at a cost 20% if required above and beyond contract terms. So is that your normal language when you?
your notes 1 through 6, we're questioning basically underneath that.
that's kind of standard in all our contracts. Typically how it works is, like in the past, what we've done on longer term projects, even with you guys, where we needed either diesel fuel or gasoline, the town had provided that for us. And typically what we would use it for is, we had different equipment on site, either we had our boilers or whatever it was that we needed, and we had an agreement where we haven't utilized that. We put it in there, but I haven't used it in quite a while with you guys, but at one point we did have you guys, supplying us with that type of stuff.
Okay, and then the other question I have in item 6, it says minimum show-up charge of 8 hours will apply, cancellation of scheduled work day, minimum 4 hours will apply. Is there any conditions, weather conditions that allow you not to work on the dam?
Well, the one time I've ever actually had to walk away, and just one time where we showed up, and it was almost like gale force winds out there. I think it was that year you guys had like tremors, you had like earthquake tremors. I don't remember that, it's quite a while, it was back around 2001, somewhere in that time frame. We had to pull up the dam.
Okay.
But that's, again, a piece of language we put in there, and it's not just for you guys, it's mostly, we'll go to a hydro site, and for whatever reason, they can't shut the water down that day because it's just too much water flow, and they have big production, so they're not gonna have us go in the water and dive because they'll lose too much money. So we have that in there, so we show up, we can't go and mobilize to another job that day, that's why we're kind of by the day, we have a lot of setup, pre and post of our work, and we show up on a job, we usually get minimum half a day.
Okay, and the plan of the work, are you planning on doing that this year?
That's questionable. The epoxy that we use is gonna be the holdup, because we can heat it, but before I would attempt to put it on, I would try it first, something down here locally, make sure it will work at that temperature. I can take this stuff and I can put it in a tub of warm water and make sure that it's going to cure. But at a certain point in time, it won't cure until the temperature is the right temperature. It has to be 40 degrees. If it's below 40 degrees, it will stay like in a plastic state
Okay.
until it warms up again. And I don't want to put that on there and find out, the gates are operating throughout the winter and it's in a plastic state, the water's flowing through, it'll just kind of eat it away, eat at it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It'll just peel it right off.
Okay.
But it has to get to that point where it's going to be a solid,
Well, optimal temperature range for you is really in the summer months of performing the work.
it has to be above 40 degrees. Yeah, it has to be above, the water temperature has to be basically above 40 degrees for the stuff on.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is right now at your facility up there, but some of the places we're at, working right now, we're in the 50s. So we're approaching that, lower limits.
Well, I guess for us, I think we want the operation to go through as error-free as possible, and if we have to, I don't think we're in any imminent danger of the dam failing or the gates failing.
Yeah.
I mean, we want a high success rate when you do come in, and so that we don't have to worry about a second job down the road.
Sure.
So, I don't have any more questions. Thank you for your time. I don't know if anybody else has any questions.
So we need town attorney would like us to make sure we get a proof of certificate of insurance from you. talking more than likely to schedule it for next summer.
I think so. I think it's getting to the point where again, work's still scheduled. It'll take me at least to get the materials and everything we need, it'll be like a 2-week lead time. You know, and the only thing I would say is, if we get this going, you guys issue me a PO, and we can talk more about it, but I can order the materials, have them available now, or whenever we do it in springtime too, but we're gonna need that, like I said, 2-week lead time to get the materials.
Okay,
So that puts me, even at this point, my calendar was, clean and cleared, that I would be able to get to you guys in November.
okay, okay. Then it's been warm and balmy over here.
Yeah. Well, the ice is just about ready to come up to the bottom anyway, so.
Well, I've been out in November too, where we had some pretty decent weather, but unfortunately, this October's been colder than normal.
Great.
Yeah, it has. Exactly right.
Okay, anybody else got any more questions? Okay, Chris, thanks for taking the time.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good night.
Yep. Good
Bye.
night, man.
Well, okay. That solves that issue. All right. Moving right along. Old business, amendment to local law number 1 of 2006. Mr. Fambro.
Can I make a suggestion for this?
Yeah. You were supposed to get a hold of Debbie. What happened?
Instead of doing an amendment, because there's 3 or 4 laws that code enforcement has, that applies to bunch of stuff, and then it's the dog. Can we do just a new law that references all the old laws, saying that laws, all these different laws, can carry
No, do it all at once for all of
Like
them.
a blanket
a single
type
law
thing?
that will, and then just referencing those laws, just that way.
Yeah.
Instead of amending 4 laws, we just do a single law.
Okay, that works.
Jay, so what you gotta do? Your spare time? All right, Joey, are you ready for your
Yeah.
next employee evaluation policy?
So, I made some edits to the employee evaluation policy, and I can go to each one I did. So in the first paragraph, it says all employees of the town of Dannemora will be evaluated 6 months from beginning of employment, then yearly after the first 3 years, and then every other year or more, if often felt by a supervisor. Every place I've ever worked at in my career is that evaluations on a new employee happens at 30 days, 45 days, 90 days. And then after that, they reach the year mark of 1 year, then they get evaluated every single year. And what kind of makes me leery about a person that goes unchecked for 3 years, that could be a bad employee. And if we don't evaluate that person yearly about whether they're doing good deeds or not good deeds, then it leaves us with basically an employee that gets out of control. So my recommendation is that we put something in for a new employee that's at least up to the first 6 months. He gets evaluated every, you can get 35, 45, or 90. But after he reaches that full year, every employee should be evaluated every year. And then I didn't touch number 2. But number 3 is a little bit concerning to me too, is that 5 is an excellent, 4 is more than acceptable, 3 meets standards, 2 meets minimum standards, and 1 is unsatisfactory. I don't know what excellent means for a good employee. Does he miss 20 days of work in a year? I don't know. But the thing that really concerned me a little bit about item number 3 is that they're below minimum standards or unsatisfactory. Nothing in this evaluation states what happens to them. Do they get put on a performance improvement plan? Is there things that you work closely with the union on? I don't know. But to me, there's not enough bite with the bark on item number 3 when an employee goes below minimum standards or is unsatisfactory. But nothing is stated will ever happen to that person. So you can have a bad employee for 5 years and nothing is said.
Well, what's the difference between minimum standards
same. Meet standards, meets minimum standards. So for me, if you meet standards, then you're probably gonna be called an average employee, but you go below and you're just meeting minimal standards, to me, you're subpar.
I guess what's the difference between a standard and a minimum standard?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you have to have some identified items.
I think it's one or the other, you can't have both. You can't say your standard is to be on time every day. What's your minimum standard, 10 minutes late?
Right.
But it should be a pass fail. I mean, it's not like there's
Yeah.
incentive pays for being exceptional.
No,
To me, it's, you got 5 categories. You meet standards, you go below standards, you exceed standards. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just 5 things, that's too wishy-washy. 3 things is, you get your employee that shows up, does the minimum work, that's fine, you're our standard. You get somebody who doesn't show up, you're below. You get somebody that comes in 20 minutes early, stays 20 minutes late, kicks butt, and that's above. It's not why you don't need more than that, I don't think. You know, if you get 5, you get too much room for discretion and problems, and you want, I don't think you want a lot of discretion, you want to have some pretty standard metrics to evaluate people by.
you gotta have something that,
Then you gotta have teeth about what's gonna happen if you're in the
right.
lowest category.
And then I didn't touch anything else, the rest of it looks okay. This supervisor will sign the evaluation form. All this stuff on 5 through 9 actually will fix itself in 1, 2, and 3. But I think we definitely need to do some edits for this policy. I'm looking over here to go to above, meets, below. There's 3 standards.
Decide what the standards are gonna be.
And you have to decide what they're gonna be.
Right.
And I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that I can probably pull stuff from the facility that we look at an employee as above, meets, or below. I mean, we go through a lot of new hires at the facility, and we actually review them at 30 days, 45 days, 90 days. And then we review them at 6 months, and then if they are okay after 6 months, and if there's an open position for them, we post it, and then we tell them that the position's open, and then they can bid for it. And then, I'll tell you, to me, a new employee, they're being interviewed every single day. So, but I would say we need to do some edits to this policy to have a little more of bar.
Okay.
And I can help Leslie, or Matt can help Leslie, you can
Sure.
put it all together.
You need this. You don't want to put the bolts on it.
Yeah, but I got it up here.
Yeah, let me have that, please.
You can always copy and get it back to, they're on the same pages.
No, all right, just like that 5 o'clock show-up time you had up there.
You said 5:15, so.
You missed the one public
I
hearing.
was late, I bring my dog to the vet.
Oh, the dog ate it.
My 18-year-old geriatric dog. 18.
All right, what about the update on the workplace injury policy? You do anything with that?
Yes, I did. Wasn't that in the? That was in our
I
packet.
emailed all of you at about 7 or 6 weeks ago.
Yes. Where is that? I did do an edit to that.
All right.
If I had it in front of me, I could tell you like what it is.
That's not up in your head though?
It is, I can tell you, that's the workplace injury policy, is that we have employees that report injuries when they're at work, but there's no clause in there where employees report instances where they're out of work that may take them from their regular scheduled jobs, and for how long does this take them from their regular scheduled jobs? That was one edit I kept, and the other edit, so you know what's in my head, is that it said progressive discipline. Accurate progressive discipline up to including termination. You can have, if you have progressive discipline, I can say discipline, no progressive. You can keep giving a person a warning, and there's no end to it. So really, that one clause should be written, any employee violating a policy should be split up to and including termination. Do you agree with that?
Yep.
Those are the 2 main edits that I remember seeing in that.
All right, well,
Anything else you want to ask me then?
Okay, late shows strong.
it's Robin's birthday.
Huh?
It's Robin's birthday.
Oh, if you told me that, I'm good with numbers, so I can tell you, like, if you told me, I'd probably remember it.
Yours is in November, right?
29.
Yeah, see, I remember that. Freddie K-Days is on Halloween.
Leslie, I'll send them to you. And you want me, I'll send you like that too, you can take a look at it.
Okay, so we talked about employees, they get hurt outside of work, it's gonna affect their in-work duties, we need proof of what it was, how long they're on there.
Yeah, I mean, and Matt makes a good point here, because the person gets hurt out of work, and there's always essential functions of the job. Any job you have, there's always essential functions. If they come and do something that's over and above the essential function, that gets them hurt worse from being out, then they could try to stick us with a workers' comp claim. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's important that you have that other stuff going on.
Okay, okay. Okay, payment for water from our water district in Lime Mountain to Standish. Actually got increased $1,800. Because we're using that money to pay for the class that's coming up for water operators. Town of Saranac doesn't pay their people, so they're sending $1,800 our way so we can pay for 3 out of the 4 that are going. Well, they're actually paying for 3 out of the 4. We're gonna pay for 1. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Last month we had made a motion
I
that,
thought we proved that.
yeah, it was 1,200, but now we're gonna,
Oh, we gotta redo it.
yeah, we gotta make a motion to say it's 1,800 now. So I'll make that motion to accept the Standish Water District payment of $1,800 for taking water from our water district in Lime Mountain.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, Orsan update, 51,277 tons. Half, 277 and a half
Tons.
tons. They're, then, the end date is next Wednesday, October 31st. Leslie has some more slips in there. So they've actually taken almost 8, they've taken 8 to, well, it'll probably be about 10,000 more than last year. So that's actually more income for the town. We approved them to take up to 60 this year. So I've got a wager with the employer, the boss, if they go over 55, then somebody's got to take somebody out to dinner.
Careful you don't violate any ethics issues.
Oh, we're on tape too. I'll tell Calvin to edit that. All right. Any questions about Orsan? Joe shared some information prior to the meeting tonight. Paul Bettershoe, he operates for the loader for them, that they're saying that the quality of the Orsan on our pile is getting thin on the type that they're looking for. But I've talked to Frank Titino, and he's looking to, if he can, extend the contract. But, and the contract actually expires the end of July next year, and we can put it out to bid again, maybe March or so.
Right after the first of the year.
Yeah. Or I can talk to Titino and see what he wants to offer us. I mean,
So be in a special vein or something they're in?
Right, that's what, he's got Paul looking around for different veins, he said he can tell by looking at it, they want the finer stuff. There's a lot of it that's pretty coarse in,
yeah, the finer, the real finer stuff is down on the tar plant.
our plant, the stuff they got washed down there. So I don't know, you know.
But it could be they're just telling Paul to actually try and, it might be a method of to lower the
Right.
price.
I
There's
don't
still
know.
people interested in that Orsan. If it's not them, you got the guy that bought the correctional facility. He's always still asking about Orsan. All right, boil water order for Ledger's Corners, that was lifted on the 1st of October. Right now, I had a conversation, I think it was on the 2nd of October, with the DOT in a phone conference, health department from the state, the county. Tim Graves is actually in control of that water district right now, being assisted by Martha and my brother Patrick. Even though they wanted Martha out of there because they didn't think she was qualified, but they approved Mr. Graves to be in charge, and he doesn't even have a license. But the state of had a guy from their health department was giving it the okay, a verbal okay was given. And they've been maintaining it. And today, there was training there, like we talked about earlier. I don't know if Tim Graves has gone home yet. It started at 8:30, and a lot of bugs have been worked out, and hopefully this whole water district in Chazy Lake will be operating a lot better after all this takes place.
Good.
All right, any other old business anybody's got? New business. Okay, Old Town Hall, we talked about getting that appraised. Well, we brought in a Mr. Rosenbaum, Jerry Rosenbaum. He went and did it, and he's got two options. Because what we approved was up to $500. Well, he's got a $1,300 restricted report. This type of report only states the reasoning, analysis, and conclusions similar to an executive summary. Or we can pay him $2,000 for an appraisal report. This type of report summarizes the reasoning, analysis, and conclusion, more detailed report. So that's what we have to, you have to tell me what you want. He's already been in there, but one report's gonna cost us $1,300, the other report's gonna cost us $2,000.
You go to 2,000 report and get the.
Right.
The other.
That's right. I
Make a
agree with
motion
you.
that we,
Okay,
pay the $2,000 for the high-end detail report, and this was the name?
Jerry Rosenbaum.
Jerry Rosenbaum.
That's my motion.
And I'll second that.
Any more discussion? Roll call, Bill?
yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Yes.
Joey?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we're gonna pass around the purchase order. For everybody to sign, kept it out of the bills. All right. Mountain Lake PBS, they're requesting, Jim and Joe, they want some gravel that's in the old reservoir located on our town property up in Line Mountain. They want to utilize it to try and repair their road up to the Channel 57 tower. They understand the approval from Dannemora Town Board may be required for such use. There could be costs incurred to Mountain Lake PBS to purchase the gravel. I hope the town, Dannemora, takes into consideration that Channel 57 is a charitable non-profit organization, and beyond our normal local educational and diverse video program, we provide emergency alerting to viewers through the emergency alert system and a source of wireless provider alerts. Repair and improvements to our roads will provide a safer and more expedient means to maintain the facility. So, it's on the bottom of the old reservoir. They've got a company that can take it out.
Is course enough for them for the road?
I think it's General Jamie Atkins of Northline Utilities is the guy that's gonna do the work.
How much is there, Bill?
I don't know,
I've been up there either.
I don't know, now they even found out that it was there. Almost.
I've been up to the water thing, right by the reservoir, but I don't remember seeing any.
It's in the bottom though, I think. There's
Really?
that muck. I was,
They
I
want
went out for
that?
a walk, I tried to walk across there one day.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was in quicksand. It's like, oh, here it goes.
Obituary.
It's of no use to us.
No, I mean, if we wanna, I don't know, Matt, we have to get,
Like I said, I mean, if there's no use in buying it in the town, like somebody can do something with it, as long as they can leave it in a similar condition to what it's in now. I mean,
Yeah, you can't leave a
Not gonna take
55-foot hole, right?
Keep it level the way it is now.
okay,
As long as they don't disturb
Because it's another charitable organization.
our access to our water tower.
What's our insurance liability on that, when somebody else on the town property?
they're gonna have their,
They're gonna have their
Share
insurance.
liability.
yeah,
Right.
They're gonna have to provide, you'll provide an agreement that basically says they'll leave it in the same or similar condition that it's in now.
okay.
Maybe give us all mugs and t-shirts.
Those tote bags.
that's in the old reservoir.
And that's in the old reservoir, correct?
There's other gravel up there, and that's not in the old reservoir. As long as they leave, the condition.
Yeah, as long as the road stays.
Okay.
I'll second.
You want a roll call? Roll call, Bill?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Joy?
Okay. Geothermal facility study by Salem Engineering. I don't know, you guys, I sent it out to everybody. It's 8 pages long, mine's only 4, on 2 sides. The bottom line, the installation cost of the geothermal equipment could vary from $40,000 for limited zone coverage to $150,000 for full building coverage. Our opinion of the probable cost of the full implementation project in 1 or 2 phases is $110,000. It says the total project exceeds the listed energy cost savings, $63,000. Well, there's another page, why $43,000, but the capital asset value increases by $106,000. But this is something that there's grant money available for. There's a present sum value of energy savings for a 20-year investment life is between $50,000 and $64,000. Oh well, but there isn't the existing equipment that was installed in 2009, 2010. No, it's 2010, 2011. Is 8 years into its own 15-year life expectancy. The equipment will remain in use as a complementary resource and its life will possibly be extended by the installation of supplemental heating and cooling equipment. There were some questions and concerns that Nancy Bernstein had, but just something that we gotta move forward on this. We paid this guy what? I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000, something like that, to do this study.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't even that much, I don't think. You had to pay him like, I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000. Well, the only way I think we should move on this is if we could able to get a grant to implement the system.
You would think there would be stuff like that out there.
Well, they're statewide and, so what, NYSERDA, I think it's called. They've got money. Especially if you're green energy.
Is that something Mr. Donahue can help us with?
Yep, sure can. So I'll have him explore that. All right. Any other new business anybody's got? Committee reports, well, primarily the last month and a half has been working on the budget and everything. I don't have any EMS, Dannemora thing, an update. The only thing that's come about is we finally got the town of Saranac to agree that the 3 towns are gonna try and work on something for 2020. But there hasn't been a meeting yet between the 3 supervisors. I went on vacation, so I've been out of the, wasn't much going on last week anyways, according to Leslie, what she told me. Water District in Chazy Lake, that class still on schedule. It's gonna happen on November 5th through the 9th. We've got 4, well, between the town of Saranac and the town of Dannemora, there's 4 out of the, well, actually 5 out of the 8 people that are gonna be there from them 2 towns. Had some things with the highway department that I wanted to discuss with Mark, but he's not here tonight. That's all I've got. Steve?
New guy started, I take it, for the highway department
Yeah. You started.
last week?
Who is it, Bill?
Jason, Landry, right? It's not
Landry.
Landry.
Jason Landry, yeah, we got him temporary, 2 to 4 months, 35
I
hours
got
a
the
week.
email on
No, well, 35 hours a week, one of the things I had contention with is Mark, he got hired on the Tuesday after the holiday. So he worked him 30 hours that week. 35 hours a week means 35 the next week. Well, he worked him 4 10-hour days the next week. That's not 35 hours a week. You don't make up, if you missed out 10 hours in the previous week, you don't make it up in the next week.
Doesn't carry over.
No, it doesn't carry over, but it's something that when that happened, I was on vacation last week, so I signed his timesheet. But one of the things that I want to let everybody be aware of, that's it. We're running in the red big time when it comes to highway payroll. And if there's any kind of overtime, it's only going to increase. And what that does is decreases the fund balance, because that's where the money's going to come from. Okay, Joey?
No, nothing that I know that's happening up on Mountain View, anything. Is there an update that's going on regarding oil water separator? Have we heard any more from that?
Other than they made that visit here?
Yeah, but have we got any back?
No, nothing back from them since then.
They took the plans, so.
Well, they sent the plans back.
Did we get them back?
Yeah,
I can see other question.
Yeah.
yeah, the plans came back. Jim?
No,
Joe?
no. Just the Orsay update that I talked to Paul about, but we already discussed that.
Yeah, okay. Leslie, you got anything you forgot?
No, no, I don't.
How much money in the gun fund?
Gun fund?
Not very much. We spent it on alcohol last week while you were away.
Okay.
That's on camera, right?
Oh, shit.
That's another ethics issue.
All right, before we get into approving the bills, monthly expenses by fund. General fund, we spent $38,784.06. Highway, we spent $135,061.21. Line Mountain Lights, $1,260.98. Line Mountain Sewer, $1,588.20. Line Mountain Water, $543.71. Dannemora Water, $25. Ledger's Corners Water District, $3,092.25, or 25 cents, I mean. Trust and Agency, $2,104.98, for a grand total of $182,460.39. Motion to approve the bills.
I'll make the motion to approve the bill that's over for the month of September. Right, September?
October.
Sorry.
All right, I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call, Bill?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Joey?
All right. Now, we had the public hearing on the local law. Now we gotta approve the local law, right?
Correct.
Okay, we need a motion to approve local law what? Number 2, 2018?
Yes.
I'll make that motion. It's the overriding the tax cap. Approve that local law.
Well, second.
Roll call vote.
Roll call, Bill?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Joey?
Joe, how much did you figure we went? About 12%?
So,
12%. Don't put that in minutes.
yeah. But the difference is that, like we said before, the fire district and that
That B.
B fund, or those two items together, and we're $68,000.
Yeah, general fund, I mean, actually, like we said, Part B and A, when they're together, they only went up 10 cents. And Marks went down,
Right.
By 8 cents, so, I mean, we override the tax cap, but, we actually, I think, did a fantastic job in regards to keeping it where we could keep it.
Yeah, I think the only question I've been asked is, why did it go up past the why do we gotta pass a law about the tax cap, and what were the issues, why it went up, and, so, well,
Basically, those two
Well, remember the things, if somebody asks me now,
The village, just, we gotta get our hand on that village one. That's just crazy, I mean, that's not even.
yeah, but I don't think you were here, we talked about, we want language in that new, contract with them in regards to giving us, what we're actually paying for.
I talked to their attorney about it briefly the other day, and we could do what we're actually paying for the year that just passed, but that means we're gonna have to pay 2 years to catch up.
But you know what, they need to prove that we're actually 2 years behind.
Well, the current contract makes it pretty clear, but, so if we want a contract that makes sense, we can start.
No, it doesn't say that, the current contract doesn't say we're 2 years behind.
Just in 2018, you're paying for services like in 2016.
Does it say that in there?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
What we need to do is pay 2 years of that.
the new current contract though.
So when we start in 2019, we're paying for 2019. We gotta catch up to get it. They're willing to do it, but they're basically saying you gotta make 2 years worth of payments in one shot to catch up.
Yeah, but even for us,
Money went toward the fire department too.
yeah, but we need to be able, they need to be able to show to us, if we're paying for something that's 2 years old, then they gotta tell us what we paid for 2 years ago.
Right.
I agree, yeah, for sure, I agree with that.
Shows the electric bill, shows,
Yeah.
the fuel, shows the maintenance, shows that, because,
Yeah.
I mean, what the
And I don't think they can.
fire department
Probably not.
gets is like, I think, $10,000. I don't think it was that much this year,
Oh.
5,000. So that's pretty good. The fire department, is 598.
You know,
And they claim the rest of it is the O&M.
that's pretty hard, when you have that labeled as the village fire department, it should go to the village fire department. It should be taken out and say, you know what, we're gonna take this out, I'm gonna give it to Brendan, I'm gonna give it to, you just can't do that. You can't do that. And I tell you, if they don't wanna play in the sandbox, I say we do an audit, force an audit.
And they itemize everything that, this building used this much energy, these maintenance went on these vehicles, and you should be able to see it.
I agree.
Okay, our last thing we gotta do tonight before public comments, motion to approve the 2019 Town of Dannemora final budget.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay,
Any discussion? Roll call. Bill,
yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Joey.
All right, got any other motions we gotta make? Public comments?
Can you have the guy cut the part out where I faced the wrong way for the pledge?
At least the wrong way. Which way did you look?
Today?
On that flag?
You won't be seen anyway. That only shows the table.
Oh, good. Okay, never mind.
You looked at the camera? You pledged allegiance to the camera?
No, to the state, the New York State flag.
I kind of did a circle way.
Thanks for sharing that, Brenda. Any other public comments?
You know, Brenda, I had a person, last 2 weeks ago that walked down the street, in a kind of an elongated walk. Looked kind of funny. We just, what the hell is this? Cerebral suspicion drug cause? I won't say it was in a system, there was a lot of stuff in the system. Are you okay?